whole idea of volunteering, it can slowly help you to be a better version of yourself.
Hi, welcome back to Woman Inc. Talk. In today's episode, we're going to have my dear friend Tasha, and she's going to share her volunteering experience. And we're going to talk about the importance of volunteering and the small act of kindness. So, for anyone who is interested, please stay tuned. Hi, Tasha, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Great, thank you. So, Tasha, please introduce yourself.
Okay, so hi everyone. I'm Tasya from Indonesia, but I was raised abroad. I've started volunteering when I was still in 11th grade back in 2011 when I was still in Hong Kong. I moved back to Indonesia early 2014, um, and I joined like a couple of foundations when I'm back here until now. So yeah.
I see. Great. So could you please elaborate more about the foundation that you are associated with?
For foundations, I joined three. Um, Basically, I joined them ever since they were still like a community. It wasn't like it wasn't established as a foundation, or maybe in Indonesia it's called yayasan, but now they all are yayasan or foundation here. The first one is Sapshares. Sapshares actually the first foundation that I've been with. Like I started off volunteering in Indonesia with them
Mhm.
until now. Um, so I teach English every Saturday. Um, so they have like a house. It's like a learning house for the kids in need. It's located in Cengkareng, near the airport in Jakarta. Meanwhile, the second foundation that I'm part of, it's called Menjadi Indonesia Pintar.
Mhm.
But then I'm more involved internally. Like I'm one of the PRs, but I also teach us sometime, also English. But then I'm more of like a the one who plan most of the activities, like along with my colleagues and everyone else. And also at times when there are natural disasters, we would actually go to um, the location, and then we would like do surveys, and we input like some data about the victims and everyone. And then the following week we would come back, and we would separate our teams into donations and also like some kind of activities for trauma healing. So yeah, it's more for the kids. I feel like for this whole volunteering, I mean, for me. And also for Matahari Kecil, it's more of I'm also involved internally, but as a creative project. It's where we also plan activities for the kids, but then we recruit um, volunteers to teach at the kindergarten. So yeah, I'm more into volunteering for the kids and for education in the education field. There was this one community. It's called We Are Charity, in which I was involved in 2 years ago when natural disasters happened back in 2018 in Palu and Lombok. So I flew with them. So we did the trauma healing activities for the kids. While like again, we separate the teams into donations and also the trauma healing activities. So those who can teach the kids will teach the kids while doing some activities and fun games with them, do some sharings. Meanwhile, the rest of the team would provide the help in the form of donations to the parents while we took care of the kids.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay, I see. So why are you interested in volunteering in the first place?
Um. Well, why I started volunteering? It's more of a personal reason for me. I take it as my way to remind myself to be grateful, no matter what I'm going through. I mean, life comes with problems, and obviously, each one of us are faced with different obstacles. Uh, but then, one thing that I need to realize up to this point is that I still have food to eat, clothes to wear, a place to live in, and while there are still people out there who are struggling to live every day. So I feel like if it's not us who help them, and then who else?
So, what's your significant or memorable experience during your volunteer?
My most significant volunteering experience, I can say, the one when I flew to Lombok and Palu to help out the victims of earthquakes and tsunami.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, like all this time, I've only been teaching English every weekend. But then at that time, it was like a whole lot different experience for me because I we had to flew to the area, and then we interacted with the victims, in which it was pretty much a tough thing to do back then because they some of them would cry, and then we we had to hold back our tears too because we had to be strong in front of them, like because we flew there to encourage them to lift their spirit up, and then we told ourselves not to cry. So it was really really it was really heartbreaking to see them having to go through all that. And um yeah, I mean, there I learned so much. Like, oh my god, okay, I seriously need to be grateful. I need to stop whining about day-to-day, problems, no matter how big or small it is, because they were actually out there struggling. Like, they had to live in emergency tents with I don't know, like, they didn't really have the access to clean water at that time because they had to live wherever there was space, you know,
Okay.
in a sense that,
So, was it a life-changing experience?
yeah, indeed. Like, we stayed there for like, for Lombok, my team and we stayed there for like about 5 days, 4 days. Meanwhile, for Palu, I went there twice. The first trip, it was more of an observation trip. Like, I only spent like 3 days and 2 nights, and then my team and we had to go around and collect data so that we can bring it back to Jakarta and started to get all of the supplies from like, even some a lot of people kind of donated as well. So we basically just load all the donations, and then after 2 or 3 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, then we flew again to Palu, and then we held the activities, and then we distributed the donations. Like, we gave out blankets, school bags, and all their household necessities, like about 1,000 of them.
I see. What do you think the benefit and the importance of volunteering?
I feel like I get to understand others better by putting myself in their shoes, of course. And you definitely get to lend a helping hand to others in need, because if it's not us, and then who else, as I mentioned before. Also, volunteer helps you to connect with others. You get to meet a lot of people of different backgrounds, with the same vision as you, to help those in need. And other than that, it's really good for your mental health because you get to interact with others, so you can forget about whatever you're feeling, any negative thoughts and such. And also, the most important thing is that it gives me a sense of purpose because I believe that we were born with a mission. Um, let's say what I have is not just for me to keep, but for me to share with others. It doesn't have to be a materialistic thing. For example, um, let's say a person A is good with painting or art. maybe he or she can share their skills to those in need. um it's like a learning experience both for those in need and them. It doesn't really have to be materialistic way. For example, if a person is good with something, um let's say he or she has the skill of maybe art or music, they could contribute their skills to those in need by just um, contributing a tiny bit of their time to them. I mean, it's already like enough. It doesn't really have to be like about money or anything else.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, I mean, I feel it would be really, really great. Like, it has to be, like helping others has to be seen from like another perspective, not about just materialistic thing.
I see. And actually, even though we're like sharing skills, it's actually very meaningful for them because they feel like taking care of someone, you know?
Yeah,
Volunteering actually helps us to understand that life is not only about gaining, but also giving, which actually you've already mentioned earlier that when you could contribute on the things that is not only materialistic, your skill, your talent and stuff, and it will
your time.
your time, and it will be like
Mm,
rewarding and fulfilling for yourself as a
yeah,
human, and you feel
yeah.
your life is more meaningful because you do something for others, for the society, right?
It's like, oh, now I know what I'm alive for. Other than um trying to make yourself happy. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, what else? What's the next step? Okay, let's say you have fulfilled what you want to do in life, and then what's next? You know?
But every time actually when we care for others and help others, basically it gives us a good energy as well for us. It
Of
feels
course, definitely, yeah.
so basically it's a really good idea to start volunteering, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So how do you encourage other to start volunteering?
I would say start small. Um, okay, let's say helping others or volunteering, it doesn't really have to mean that you have to, let's say,
Donate.
donate a large amount of money to to volunteer or participate in some kind of like charitable activities. Like, you
Mhm.
can just begin with just by giving them food, like, because you never know what we consider as small, it can mean a lot to others. So maybe we can start off by let's say we see people on the street, um let's say those sellers or someone. Maybe if you have your social media platform, you can simply take a picture of them and just explain to your close circle of what they sell, who they are, and just encourage others to buy their products or whatever they're selling. If we order our food online, maybe we can consider of buying the driver's food as well, or drinks, just to show how much we appreciate them. We don't really have to give them money. It's just to show that we how much we care about them.
So basically, all the importance that you've explained, and then how like it's really important to do small act of kindness is actually a rewarding thing for ourselves. So
Yeah,
basically, when we give to others, is actually a fulfillment for ourselves as well. And every time we do a small act of kindness, we actually could make the world or our environment a better place
definitely.
because we empathize with each other in a sense that you're not just focusing on yourself and think that your life is more important than the others, but
Yeah, we don't know their struggles, so our small act of kindness can show that we're actually there for them, that they're not alone.
exactly. And every time we do this kind of things, we realize how grateful we are, right?
Yeah, it increase your level of like knowing how blessed you are, like, it will definitely stop you from whining from simple matters in life.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
just, it can, the whole idea of volunteering, it can slowly help you to be a better version of yourself.
Exactly.
You're more happy, you're more grounded, you understand others better. You're just becoming more considerate of others. Like, you put, I mean, it's of course it's important to put yourself first, but it just teaches you how not to be selfish. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, basically, you could be a light for someone's life.
and again, it doesn't really have to be in the form of help. Like, when you say nice things to others, it also help them to, boost your spirit, and make them a happier person. They'll be more ready for the day, because you can never know what a person can go through.
Exactly. And yeah, that's why like we have discussed and talked about like the importance of volunteering, which you've already stated that volunteering could be in a lot of different forms, not only
Yeah.
donating or like teaching, but it could be
Mm.
a small act of kindness or other things. Understand that the world is big. It's a really big place. Like,
Yeah, it doesn't evolve around you. There are others, who actually need your help or need your support. I mean, you know, we can just approach someone, um, let's say those in need, they definitely need someone to share like their struggles with. So like sometimes you can just sit there and listen to them. Like, from my experience for the um the disaster relief, what I did was, while others were helping out, I sat down with one of the mothers, um who was also the victim of the earthquake, and then I just talked to her. Like, she just shared a lot of things to me. I mean, and she told me she felt better afterwards. It's just a matter of how, it's just that you have to be there for them.
so Tash, what quotes that you live by?
Yes. Um, I always try to keep this in mind. Your direction is more important than your speed. Why? Because I often compare myself to others. I know that's not good, because it can actually disrupt my growth, because I will start feeling anxious, stressed out. We don't know what's happening behind the curtain. And of course, they won't show their failures. And plus, um, each one of us, we have, um, our we were born with a different timeline in life, and what's meant to be for us, it will come at the right time. So you definitely need to prioritize direction over speed. You wouldn't want to go um, at the wrong direction, right? Don't rush everything, because you see others as like, oh, we're of the same age, but how come he or she is more successful than I am? I mean, it's not that. As I said again, like, what's meant to be for you, it will come at the right time.
Exactly.
Be it success, be it whatever you name it. Stay at your face.
Yeah, just stay at your.
Yeah.
So inspiring. I hope people who watch this would be inspired with your experience. So
Hopefully.
thank you very much, Tasha, for today.
Thank you for having me.
Okay. So bye.
Bye. See you next time.